Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, and I'm going to talk to you now about what to do about deer. I've had real deer problems. I have problems with deer and raccoons. My garden gets invaded. So what do you do about that? I run an organic garden. I use no chemicals in my garden, no pesticides, nothing like that. So my raised beds are clean. Worm castings, some peat moss, things like that. Compost, that's what goes in, clean stuff from the garden standpoint. But anyway, so I don't have much in the way of garden beds this fall, but I'm going to show you what I've got and a little bit what I've been doing to stop deer from getting in the garden. I had a real deer problem. I had to put some lettuce into the garden here in this bed, and deer got in here and ate it up. Now you can see it's starting to recover, and I'm going to show you what I've done to repel them without any chemicals or without any smelly animal urine or anything like that. I've actually used Irish Spring soap, believe it or not, and I cut it in little chunks and put it outside my raised bed, because I don't know what's in there. I don't want that in my raised beds where I'm going to be growing stuff to eat. So you can see the lettuce is starting to recover. I mean, they ate it slap up. Some of it is. I've got a farmer's market. I market at Madison City Farmers Market, and there are 3 more markets there this year. The last market is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, the 17th. So maybe a little bit of this lettuce can make it to that market. It's not going to be ready this Saturday, but you can see I've also got a lot of little green onions in here. Those aren't going to be ready for the market this Saturday, or probably this year at all. But they will overwinter, and they will be just nice and just right first thing in the spring. That'll be my first green onions in the spring, and I will set out more. But those will be ready here in North Alabama, 8 miles south of Tennessee. That works. We've had a frost. Some of my tomato plants have survived the frost. I planted green onions here a week later, and I believe they're just, I've seen them 1 or 2 shoots. It looks like they're just starting to come up in this bed. Where they at? I can't find them now, but yeah, right here. There's a little green onion starting to peek out. So they're just starting to come up here. I'm tempted, I see some over here. So they're just starting to come up in this bed. And this one's a little exposed, as you can see. So that's working. Like I said, it'll be spring of next year. And I need to set some out in this bed. I've got lettuce. I had 3 nice beds of lettuce here, and the deer agreed with me. They thought I had 3 nice beds of lettuce, and they decided to help themselves to them. Anyway, they had a lot of fun. I've mentioned earlier that I've been busy puppy this year. I've been building this greenhouse, which has taken a lot of my time. But a lot of my time is also, and I put the aquaponics system in, at least on one side of it, and a lot of my time has gone to running a Power Grid Defense Conference, and I was working a lot of overtime at work in the spring, so it really got me behind in the garden. And you can see I've got a lot of beds here that if you'd seen my garden last year, there was all kind of nice pretty stuff growing. This was clean as a whistle, and I never ever wanted to see it get away from me like this, and hopefully this spring I'll have it all cleaned up. The one thing I did manage to clean up was my turmeric. Well, somewhat. About a month or 2 ago it was looking pretty rough, and I think I just managed to save it. I had huge bumper crop of turmeric, whatever you want to call it. Last year I had so many root ribosomes you couldn't believe it. So I got a bed over there, a bed over here, a bed over there, and on back there is more. And this is one thing that it's about, you got to have a long growing season for turmeric. I plant this stuff in like March, as early as I can, and you can see it's bloomed, but these blooms are, here it is fall, everything's starting to die out, so they're not as pretty as they were. These turmeric plants have beautiful broad green leaves and beautiful blooms when they're fresh. Anyway, I don't have as much turmeric. It's not as big, but Lord mighty, I didn't know what to do with all the turmeric I had last year. I sold it to farmers market and here, there, and everywhere, and still had a lot of roots, ribosomes. But I'll get better at marketing it. It's a nice plant to grow because turmeric is extremely good for you. Anti-inflammatory. There's claims that it fights cancer better than anything, maybe even better than chemotherapy, or it's a good assist for chemotherapy. I'm not a doctor. Don't take this as medical advice. I'm just telling you that there's claims, but those claims have really caught my interest, and that's why I decided to grow it and have my own, because I know this is organic. Nothing is in these soil except compost, worm castings. And by the way, it's turning autumn here, and this is a beautiful place to work out here in nature, where the trees are starting to get some color to them. Maybe I'm turning too fast here, but pardon me if I'm slewing too fast, but nothing beats working outdoors and being in nature and seeing the change of the seasons. It's a wonderful experience, and it's one of the reasons I love gardening. And I know what I'm getting. I know I'm getting nice, clean food. I have it for myself, I have it to sell, and I can grow a lot here in a small space in these raised beds. So it's a wonderful thing. And I'm going to talk later about why to get worms. One reason is I don't use any fertilizer. I use my worm products. I have used a little fish emulsion on occasion, but it's mostly worm products. But by the way, I'll be able to make my own fish emulsion because I have an aquaponics system. Anyway, I wish everybody a great day, and take care. Click like, subscribe to my channel, bang the bell to get updates, and I'll be making some regular updates. Take care, bye.